Oh, grand rising, everybody. Thank you for jumping on. Do us a favor, guys, as you hop on here. Drop your city and your state, or wherever you're viewing us from, whatever country you're viewing us from. This is the blank spot, and we are a sublimation blanks t-shirt transfer, adhesive, vinyl, and banner supplier located just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. I know I just said a whole mouthful. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about screen print transfers and how to properly press them. If it's your first time doing screen print transfers, this is going to be very, very helpful to you. Okay. So if it's your first time here on our platform viewing us, type a number one in the comments. All right. Type a number one in the comments. This is not a scripted video. So everything that you see is going to probably just be coming off the top of my head. But I do have a couple of things that I want to address today. And that's going to be really important to help out crafters, creators, designers, and anybody else who's never pressed a screen print transfer. Okay. So once again, give this live a little bit of time to kind of generate some audience. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and get started. Hope you guys doing great today. Happy Friday to everybody. I'm going to share this to our private group. There you go. It's been shared. So see if we can get those guys involved as well. And we're going to go ahead and get started here in about another 15, 20 seconds. Give you guys a little chance to jump on. I know some people are probably at work. I know you're probably taking it easy, probably at work, just counting the hours until until it's time to get off. But one of the things that I've been noticing as we've been sharing these amazing screen print transfers that we have, very vibrant, very durable, and very easy to apply. What I've been noticing is that there's lots of people who are still having problems with applying the transfers. And that's one of the things that you have to understand, and we have to understand as business owners. There's never going to be a home run with any of the products that you sell or any of the services that you provide. Therefore, I want to come on and address some of the possible issues that people are having transitioning from other transfer processes. What do I mean? Well, it's real simple. Most people got started doing other transfers, and that other transfer was most likely vinyl. Most people got started doing shirts or apparel, making shirts and apparel using vinyl. They pulled out their cutter, whether it was a Cricut or a Silhouette or any other type of they uploaded their design in the design space, or they created it in the design space, and then they attempted to cut it and apply it to their fabric. Once you do something a bunch of times, you kind of get locked into that, right? And sometimes it's challenging. Sometimes it's challenging to learn another process. Well, I'm here to tell you that with any t-shirt pressing process, didn't say printing, any t-shirt pressing process, there's going to be three key things that are involved. Always. It's never going to change. The three things that are going to definitely matter in any t-shirt pressing process is going to be your temperature, your time, and your pressure. Now, here's the deal. A lot of people are looking for one-on-one trainings. A lot of people are wanting to get started and say, hey, do you offer one-on-one trainings? Can you teach me how to do this one-on-one? Well, we're not a company that teaches. That's not our job. That's not our business. Also, we don't have a location where people can come in. We would love to have a platform set up to where we can actually teach you in person how to actually press a shirt. However, it's just not feasible. But what I will tell you is this. You are not going to be able to learn how to press watching a video. What you will be able to do watching this video is you will get a better understanding of how the process works. Okay, that's what we want you to understand, how the process works, and then everything else is just going to be a trial and error. And for those of you who feel like you can learn online and you can learn through a video, I want you to feel something. Okay, I want you to feel something. So I said one of the things that's going to be important for you to be able to press any transfer correctly is the pressure. Can you feel that? Can y'all feel that? You're not going to be able to feel that. You know why? Because you have to be in person to be able to feel that. You have to understand and learn the difference between light pressure, medium pressure, and heavy pressure. And if you have a manual press, this particular if you have a manual press, this particular press is going to be the pressure is going to be controlled by this knob right here. Okay, so if you have a manual press, it's going to be pushing in some buttons, and you have to know the pressure. So you're not going to know what the pressure is by looking at a video. That's impossible. It's not going to happen. So for those of you who say, hey, you know what, I want you to teach me a class on how to press shirts, it's not that difficult. The main things that you have to understand is the pressure is going to matter with these transfers. If you have a light pressure, if you have a very light pressure, then what's going to happen is you're going to ruin your shirt. If you have too little of time, if the time is not long enough, the temperature, the pressure, the shirt is going to be ruined. If your time is too long, you can actually burn the transfer and melt it inside of the garment. Ask me how I know. And if the temperature is too high, you can also do that as well. So this is the only video that when we come on here, these are the only videos that we do to actually educate as far as how to do something using our products. Okay, we got other videos that, and I guess you may call this or want to call this a tutorial, or you may want to call this a demonstration, but there's never going to be a time to where we're going to be on here teaching you how to do something other than using our products. So I want, when you see this video, I want to say this in the beginning, it's about 7 minutes into the video. When you see this video, I want you to understand that we're not here to teach you, okay? We're here to explain to you and remind you that you cannot learn, like this individual on here, you cannot learn pressure watching a video, okay? You can't learn pressure watching the video. So there's 3 different types of pressure that you're going to end up using, and one is going to be probably not used at all, and that's the light pressure. So your transfers are either going to call for medium pressure or they're going to call for heavy pressure. Now, since we're talking about the screen print transfers, we're going to need heavy pressure. Now, I think I may need to ruin a garment. Let me see if I can find something close. I may need to ruin a garment so you guys can see, because seeing is believing, and we have a lot of people who are ruining their garments because either they're thinking that they're following instructions and they're not, or they really don't understand the instructions. So we have these instruction cards that come with every screen print transfer. Now, we had to revamp the information on here because we're having people that are saying, hey, I'm having problems pressing my transfers. Well, right here on the screen print transfer, it says you got to pre-press the fabric, right? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to set the temperature at 325 degrees. I've already done that. Then we're going to pre-press the fabric. We're pre-pressing the fabric for 3 to 5 seconds, and that is to get the moisture out. If the fabric is not pre-pressed to get the moisture out, then there's a possibility that transfer would not adhere to that fabric. Okay. Then these are 7-second transfers. However, because we know that there's a lot of people who are new to the process of pressing screen print transfers, we just added an extra 5 seconds. So it's telling you to do 12 seconds. Okay. 12 seconds. And then it has to be heavy pressure. Once again, can you feel that? You can't feel it. You won't be able to feel it. So me trying to explain the pressure to you, even over the internet or over a video, it's not gonna resonate with everybody. But heavy pressure means that I have to lean in on this manual press. Now, remember, there is no garment under here. So I'm gonna check the pressure with the garment under here. But I just wanted to run a couple of examples so you guys can kind of see that there's no way for anybody, I don't care how good of a teacher you are, there's no way for anybody to show you which pressure you need. That's something that's going to be a trial and error. So if we say heavy pressure and you can easily put the press down and lock it in, then your pressure is not heavy enough. I'll say that one again. If we're telling you to use heavy pressure for the screen print transfers and you can pull your press down and it easily locks in, then that's not heavy pressure. If you have to use some force to lock that in, then you know your pressure should be good enough. Okay. Once again, another thing I have to reiterate, if you do not pre-pressure fabric, if you choose not to pre-pressure fabric, or if you forget to pre-pressure fabric and you put that transfer onto that garment, then there's a possibility that the moisture that's already inside the garment, you may not be able to see the moisture or feel the moisture. It's a possibility that the moisture that's inside the garment is going to keep the transfer from properly sticking to the garment, leaving your transfer all ruffled and peeled apart and looking ruined, because it'll be ruined. All right. So I'm gonna go get a shirt, something old that I can use. When I come back, hopefully we'll have more views. Hopefully we'll have more people on here, and hopefully we'll have more people who have liked the video and shared the video. Once again, if you're new, type a number 1 in the comments. Also, let us know where you guys are tuning in from. If you're not able to comment because you're at work, I understand. But if you can get the likes up and the shares up on our video, that's going to get more people involved, because there's a lot of people, guys, believe it or not, who has never pressed a screen print transfer before, and they're getting frustrated because it's not working out for them. So I'll be right back. All right, guys. So I'm back, and I see nothing has changed on TikTok. So wow, but we are on YouTube. So I appreciate y'all for jumping on. Give me 1 second. Okay, y'all like it now? All right, that's cool. I appreciate it. So here's the thing, guys. Let's see. Love and be natural. Always have problems adjusting the pressure on my big blue heat press like yours. Well, the one key to remember is lefty loosey, righty tighty. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. And if you're having problems because you may have rust in your screw threads, you may want to take something like some WD-40 and just spray lightly in there and then work it. Okay, work it. But the pressure is going to get tighter when you turn to the right. Okay, when you turn to the right, the pressure is going to get tighter. When you come back to yourself to the left, it's going to get looser. That's if you're right-handed. Okay, let's see. Grand Rising out of Starksville, Mississippi. How you doing? Covington, Georgia. Thank you. I appreciate it. Bristol, Virginia. How you doing? Thanks for jumping on. All right. So now, doesn't matter what size your press is. If it is a manual press, it's going to be tightened and loosened by the knob up top. Okay, that's how it works. So now, if you guys are just jumping on, this is the blank spot. We are sublimation blanks and t-shirt transfer adhesive, vinyl, and banner supplier. We're located just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. And today, guys, we're going to be showing you how to properly press a screen print transfer for those of you guys who've never done it before. So do me a favor. If you are brand new to the call, if you're first time being here, type a number 1 in the comments, please. Before you start asking questions, identify yourself by typing a number 1 if you're new, and also drop that city, state, location, wherever you're coming in from. Thanks. I appreciate y'all number 1s. Now, this is let's see, is this 100%? Yep. This is 100% cotton shirt. Now, you can press your screen print transfers on any fabric. All right. You always have to consider seams. Oklahoma City, thank you. You always have to consider the seams, but you can press your screen print transfers on any fabric. Unlike one other transfer process with the sublimation, it has to be polyester. Okay, so Utah, Austin, Texas, thank you, I appreciate it. So now here's the deal: most people use poly cotton blends for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because it's cheaper, if that's what's available in the area, whatever the case may be. But this is a 100% cotton shirt. All right, so I'm just going to take this shirt, and my temperature is already set for 325 degrees per hour instructions. Now, if you're the type of person that doesn't follow instructions well, then this may be difficult for you. Now that I got my shirt positioned on my screen, on my press, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the pressure, okay? Before I do a pre-press, I got to check the pressure. I can let off a little bit more. Okay, now I'm going to pre-press this for 3 to 5 seconds. Why am I doing that? That's to get the moisture out. Now, you may not, once again, be able to feel the moisture. Hey, Steve, how's it going? You may not be able to feel the moisture inside the shirt. But oftentimes, Beverly, thanks for jumping on, you may see steam rising as you pre-press your shirt. That's an indication that there's moisture in there. So for all of you first-time pressers of the screen print transfers, or even first-time pressers of t-shirts, this is something that you want to make sure of, okay? You want to make sure that you pre-press this and you knock that moisture out. Now comes the idea of positioning this transfer. Now I'm going to tear this transfer in half because I'm going to do 2 different presses. One press is going to be with the correct method, and one press is going to be without the correct method. All right. So now this press, all I did was tore it in half because I don't want to be wasting supplies. Okay. If you don't know, we are selling screen print transfers. Okay. This is a business. We're selling screen print transfers. And the purpose of this live is to show people how to use our screen print transfers. All right. So this is 325 degrees. It is heavy pressure. And I know I said these are 7-second transfers, but on our instructions, we put 12 seconds. So we're going to lock this in. That's what heavy pressure feels like, but you won't be able to. We are not in person. So you're going to have to figure that out. After this 12 seconds is up, not a hot peel, but it's an immediate hot peel. Okay. Most people, when they peel their transfers, they want to look and they want to peek to see what's going on. What ends up happening oftentimes is that transfer ends up sticking. Maybe because you've been using a different type of transfer method. Maybe you've been using something like DTF. Maybe you've been using HTV. I know a lot of people when they do DTF has either a cold peel or a hot peel. If it's a cold peel, they can peel it. I mean, if it's a hot peel, they can peel it right after they pull the press up. If it's a cold peel, then they have to take that little rock or a little cool towel or just let it cool off, and then they'll peel it, and they're peeling it slow. And they're peeling it slow because they're not wanting to pull that ink up. Now, something that I did not mention that I'm going to mention, okay, and some of the OG crafters and some of the OG t-shirt people may not agree with me, and that's okay. We're here to have a conversation about how to press these screen print transfers. But as you notice, there's nothing on my heat press. There's nothing on my palette. You're going to hear a lot of people who consider themselves to be experts to say, no matter what, always protect the top of your heat press. But I want you to understand something. When you put something here like Teflon, or when you place something over your garment to press the screen print transfers, like, I don't know, butcher paper or something like that, it may stop the actual heat from going through. That's something to consider. I'm not saying that you cannot be successful with having a covering over it, but it's not recommended. So definitely you want to always protect your heat press. But depending on what you've been pressing, you should already know what's going on. I'm guilty of skipping that process. Thanks for telling me to stop. You definitely have to pre-press that garment because you're going to get an outcome that you don't like. Okay? Now, this is what it looks like when it's done correctly. There are no snags, there are no tears, and everything came out just right. Okay, everything came out just right. Now, yes, this is screen print transfer. Everything back here is screen print transfer. Even the full color, screen print transfer. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to place this garment under here again, but this time I am going to loosen the pressure to what I think it should be. Okay, I'm going to loosen the pressure to what I think it should be. And I'm not going to peel it right away. As a matter of fact, I got some spaghetti on the stove. I'm not at home, y'all. But I got some spaghetti on the stove. Or I'm helping my kids with their homework. Or I'm actually double tasking. I'm doing multiple things. I'm multitasking. And I'm going to press this with light temperature. I'm not going to press it for the full time. I know y'all didn't hear that go off. I'm not going to press it for the full time. Light pressure. I'm not going to press it for the full time. And I don't know if you can see down here at the bottom. I want you to see where this shirt is wrinkled. You see that wrinkle? I did not pre-press that part of the shirt. So here, we're going to press the other half of that screen print transfer just like this. Now, I don't know what's going to happen, but I can kind of give you an idea what's going to happen. All right. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to use the regular time. I'm going to use the regular time, not the 12 seconds, but the 7 seconds. Well, I'll use the 12 seconds. Let's do 12 seconds that we recommend. Okay. So now, 325, I got this at 12 seconds, and it is light pressure. I think it's heavy. Well, I don't have enough strength to push my heat press down. So let's see what happens. I'm just cooking. I'm cooking. I'm helping the kids with the homework. I'm having a conversation with my homegirl or my homeboy. I'm just chilling. And I come back later. It didn't even transfer. It didn't even transfer. So let's try with a little bit more pressure. But I don't know if you guys can hear that peel. It tried to peel off. Linda, Grand Rising, thanks for jumping on. I'm gonna try it again. This is for people who are brand new to pressing screen print transfers. Guys, you can't overthink the process. It's really not that hard, okay? So now, it's supposed to be a hot, immediate peel. You don't have to let this cool off. I'm gonna see it's still sticking. Y'all see that? It's still sticking. It's not gonna peel properly. And this is what happens when we don't follow instructions. That's what happens when we don't follow instructions. Now I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Has this ever happened to anybody on this live? Has this ever happened to you? You've tried to press the screen print transfer and it didn't quite come out right? Anybody? Anybody care to share? Yes, it has. The reason why this happens is for a couple of reasons. One, it will happen if there's not enough pressure. Two, it will happen if there's not enough time. And three, it will happen if you don't move this immediately. This is an immediately hot peel. This is an immediate hot peel. You see it happen with you with DTF? Pretty much the same concept. Pretty much the same concept with DTF as it is for screen print. But here's the thing. This is what I want y'all to know. If this happens to you, don't panic. That's right, not enough pressure. If this happens to you, don't panic. And please don't get on social media blasting the company that you bought the transfers from. Your first response should be to contact the business owner that you purchased your products from. That's the first That's the first thing, okay? That's the first thing. All right? That's what you want to do. If you want to get the best answers, you got to contact the company that sold this to you. Now, somebody's on here saying, repress it with more pressure. Absolutely. If you don't tear it all the way off and you see it not coming up, absolutely. You can repress this with more pressure. You're absolutely right. But most people are not thinking like that because they're slowly peeling like it's a DTF transfer. Remember, we're talking about screen print transfers. They're peeling it like it's a DTF transfer, and they're kind of looking and peeking. After they make that initial pull and that thing snags, it's ruined. After this begins to happen, it's ruined. Because what's happening is this is plastisol ink. And it stretches. Grand Rising, thanks for jumping on. It stretches. So once you press that and you start to peel it, and it starts to peel off the shirt and the garment and the transfer paper at the same time, then you're going to have an issue with trying to get it back on. Now, I'm not talking about, and the only reason I'm referencing DTF, guys, the only reason I'm referencing DTF is because that's what most people are doing. So whatever DTF instructions you have, that's what you want to follow. I'm not here to talk about whether you're peeling it fast or slow. Most times you're going to peel it aggressively, but you're not going to rip it off. Okay? Most times. But it depends on who you got your information, who you got your products from, and what instructions they give you. Now, here's the problem that I see with a lot of individuals as well. Sweet and Style, Grand Rising, thanks for jumping on. These are pressing instructions. And I know when I buy something from the store and I get instructions as a man, just me specifically, I can't speak for all men, what I do is this. I don't need that. And now I don't have the instructions. Guess what's happening now? I'm at a disadvantage. I'm at a disadvantage because I don't have the instructions. I don't have the recommendations. These are nothing more than recommendations. We are strongly encouraging you to follow these recommendations. But if you choose not to, then this is what can possibly happen to your project. So it's your choice because it's your money. We're not trying to tell you what to do. However, we want to let you know that if you want to be successful and you trusted us enough to purchase from us, then it's probably a good idea to trust us enough to follow the pressing instructions. Now, if you receive transfers from anybody, to include us, without any pressing instructions, our pressing instructions is on our website. And for those of you who are here and you're new, we are a sublimation blanks and t-shirt transfer supplier. We also supply adhesive vinyl stickers and banners. If you're looking to shop with us, you can go to our website, okay? If you happen to lose the instructions, there are pressing instructions on our website. If you're shopping today and you're looking for some single color screen print transfers that are very vibrant, that are easy to use, if you follow the instructions, then we are offering wholesale screen print transfers every day of the week. We used to have a $1 screen print transfer Thursday. We did away with that. Every day of the week, you got access to wholesale screen print transfers for just 90 cents when you make a minimum purchase of 50, okay? You can mix and you can match. Your choice. Now, when we talk about the different processes, the one thing or the three things that are always going to be relevant, the three things that are going to always be relevant with any transfer that you use is the temperature, the time, and the pressure. Can somebody type that into the comment for me? Temp, time, pressure, or TTP, I'm sorry. TTP. Somebody type TTP in the comments. I want y'all to remember that. With any transfer, TTP, temp, time, pressure. Thank y'all. Temp, time, pressure. It doesn't matter what press. It don't matter what press you have. It doesn't matter what transfer you're using, whether it's DTF, screen print, whether it's sublimation rhinestones, whether it's HTV. TTP is going to be the thing. And somebody said this a little while ago. 9 times out of 10, it is going to be the user error. It's a user error. And unfortunately, because we are humans, a lot of us don't want to admit to making a mistake. The first thing a lot of us want to do is say, hey, I bought some bad stuff from your business And now I either want my money back or I want you to replace it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, life just don't work like that. Especially in the small business lane, life just doesn't work like that. When we first got started, we understood that there was going to be people that were going to have issues with what we were doing because they were just new. And there's nothing wrong with being new. However, what I want you to think about is if you are new, you also want to take that into consideration. If you're learning through videos, through social media, you also want to take that into consideration because it's not going to be direct and specific. Everything that we do, once we see a video, once we see something and we're introduced to it, that's what we are, we're introduced to it. Now it's going to be a trial and error, okay? And remember, every heat press is different. Thank you. So learn your press. That's another thing. Thank you for that, Stevie. Grand Rising, Tamara, thanks for jumping on. That's another thing. Your heat press may not be heating evenly. Not everybody who starts making garments buys and purchases a new heat press. And I mean, new doesn't mean that it can't have some flaws, that it can't be defective. But not everybody who purchases their first heat press is new. Some people purchase used or refurbished heat presses. And we're purchasing these heat presses that have been used already. And the heating element, which is going to be inside of this plate right here, this heating element may be going out. So you may have hot pressure in the middle. I mean, hot spots in the middle, but on the end, it may not be hot spots. So you have to learn your heat press. Something else I meant to share with y'all. I kind of rushed in here. I'm not going to say unprepared, but ill prepared. So can y'all bear with me? I want to go get one more prop and show you something, okay? Give me a second. So just so y'all know, and Grand Rising, guys, I appreciate y'all. Thanks for jumping on. Got anybody else that's new? If you're just jumping on and you haven't done so, and you're brand new to the live, if you haven't identified yourself, type a number 1 in the comments. Also, please let us know where you're tuning in from, okay? I love this, maybe a dumb question, but I really don't know what the difference between DTF and screen print is. That's not a dumb question, although there are some, but that's not one. They're using different inks, okay? Most people that are using DTF or that are producing DTF transfers, they are printing them on clear film. Well, all DTFs printed on clear film. Some screen prints are printed on clear film as well. But the difference is the DTF uses a white ink and a powder to form a cohesive bond. That cohesive bond is what's going to be used to adhere to your fabrics. I don't want to sound so scientific. I hope I made that plain. DTF ink is different. Screen print ink is what's called, it's a plastisol ink. The ink itself is going to be that cohesive, bond. So if you're going to have a black transfer, you don't see on the screen print transfer, if you've seen a transfer like this, on the back side, you would see, or you see clear through, on the back side, you see that white ink or that white look for that adhesive bond. The adhesive bond is already built inside of this plastisol ink. I think that's the best way that I can explain it to you. Okay. But they are different. DTFs, you have to press twice. DTF takes 2 presses to make sure that it's inside the fabric. Screen prints only need 1 press. DTFs are usually going to be pressed around 325. Same thing with screen prints. DTFs are going to be 15 to 20 seconds, I believe. Screen prints, they're 7-second transfers. We just recommend 12 because we have people that have these issues. So what I recommend is that you go to our site, buy a couple of screen print transfers and try them out. Then you'll see the difference. Yes, screen print has no powder. It has no powder and it has no no white ink and powder to bond that had the cohesive bond. It bonds and binds to the garments differently. And I've seen a couple of things just recently that DTFs are using these binding sheets and spray binding sheets. I don't know. Anyway, but that's my understanding of it. Okay. Now, has anybody? So if you make shirts or apparel, okay, are the colors vibrant like DTF for screen print transfers? I don't know. You tell me. That's a screen print transfer. And I'm going to press one. I'm going to press one today. That's a full color screen print transfer. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard. Hey, Dina, thanks for jumping on. It's kind of hard to say that this is vibrant or that's vibrant if we don't have something to compare it to side by side. So you can go back, Wicked Crafty Beach. I just explained that one. I know you're probably just jumping on. Bottom line is DTF uses powder with white ink to form a cohesive bond. Screen print transfers don't have powder. Most screen print transfers you're going to find on a white transfer paper like this. And DTF is going to be a clear film. The temperature is going to be similar, but the time is going to be different, and it's going to be a one press. Okay. Now, how many of you guys make t-shirts? Type a number 2 in the comments. If you make t-shirts, type a number 2. No, don't worry about it, Wicked. I got your answer. You got your answer. Cool beans. Type a number 2 if you make t-shirts or apparel. You want to? Okay. Does this look familiar? Does this look familiar to anybody? Y'all know what this is? Yeah, this look familiar? Yeah. Y'all use this? This is used for HTV, right? Used for HTV, is used for larger projects. No, this is not a real. Well, you say it's a heat press. Let's say it's an easy press. Let's say it's just an easy press. Let's say it's a press. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Y'all going where I was going. It's an iron. And this is great. This is great for vinyl. This is great for vinyl at 300 degrees when you can actually press in spots, right? You got a large garment that you want to press or maybe a tablecloth, and you want to lay this thing down, lay your garment down or your project down, and you want to press, right? It's a giant seamless flat iron. I appreciate that one. I'm going to use that. Do not use this. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you, when you buy your transfers from us, don't use this and then say my project didn't come out right. Y'all transfers are jacked up because you're not using the proper equipment. The 3 things that every transfer needs, the 3 things that every transfer requires is TTP, temperature, time, and pressure. This only meets 2 of the 3 requirements. This meets the temperature and the time, depending on the model that you have, but it does not meet the requirement of the pressure. Okay? Why? Because you have to manually hold down like you are resuscitating somebody. You're performing CPR on your garments. And now you are at muscle failure because you're trying to press down evenly, and you can't do that. You can't do that. But, and I hate to say this, but this is very, very true. Whoever you are following who wanted to sell you a particular product told you that, yeah, you can get started in your basement. No problem. And you can. Yeah, you can get started in your garage. No problem. And you can. Yeah, you can get started in your closet. No problem, man. You can. Yeah, you can start with that easy press. No problem. You can't. Not and sell something. They are. They're telling a lot of untruth. That you can't do that. Not successfully. That ain't even good to practice on. Okay? That's not even good to practice on. So I'm not telling you to throw it away because that easy press is going to come in handy with some things, not just this thing. Okay? So are y'all with me? Are y'all ready? So we got a lot of people on right now. I appreciate it. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the shares up. I'm going to introduce myself again. This is the blanks spot. We are Sublimation Blanks and T-shirt transfer, adhesive vinyl, adhesive prints, and banner supplier. We're a company. All right. We're not crafters. Nothing against crafters, but I'm not here to craft. I'm only here to share with you how to properly use our screen print transfers. That's what this live is for. Okay. If you're interested and you want to purchase some screen print transfers at a wholesale rate, you can purchase the screen print transfers, a minimum of 50. If you're on TikTok, you will go to the link in the description. There's a link tree. It's a clickable link on our profile. Click that link. Once you click that link, you're going to have different links under that tree. You're going to find the one that says wholesale transfers. You got to buy at least 50. If you're here on Facebook or YouTube, what I'd like you guys to do is go to the link in the description. Okay, go to the link in the description, or you can go straight to the website. Same thing. Once you get there, you'll be able to put 50 in your shopping cart. You can mix and match. And that's going to be helpful to you to help to build up your inventory and also your portfolio. Now, something I was going to say. Oh, yeah. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Please go and follow us and or subscribe for free on our YouTube. Hit that bell to be notified on all of our platforms. Thank you, Tam. I appreciate you. Encourage them to like the video. Okay. Now, I expect after this live that I'm going to be processing some orders this weekend. Even though we're closed this weekend, we got a lot of orders on the table from this week that we're pushing out because we're getting a lot of traffic, and we appreciate you guys. But I need you to understand something. When small businesses come on here, we're not coming on here to entertain. We're coming on here with the end goal of making some sales. So hopefully you guys will be shopping with us. So this is a 50% cotton, 50% polyester hoodie. And the brand is Hanes. This is a Hanes Eco Smart hoodie. Okay. Now, I have become accustomed to putting my garments upside down, especially with the hoodie. It's easier for me to press like that. So I've become accustomed to putting it upside down. And I think I missed the question. Someone asked about lint rolling. If you feel comfortable and you want to lint roll, there's no problem. But it's not required when you're doing cotton. Okay? If you're doing a cotton garment, lint rolling is not required. It's not necessary. It may make you feel better, but it's not necessary. Okay? So I hope that person is still on and they actually heard that. All right. So lint rolling is not required for this particular process. Lint rolling is very important when you're doing sublimation, and that's another conversation for another time. But now remember, all right. So the first step is I have to check the pressure because I changed garments. Okay. I changed garments. Remember, I was doing a shirt. This is a thicker garment. So my pressure may be too heavy or it may be too light. It's probably going to be too heavy, depending on what it's going to be like. All right, let me see. To you, it's a necessity, especially on black shirts. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask a real silly question. What type of transfers are you using? I think that's an Angel. What type of transfers are you using? Let's see. What's the best way to place your shirt on the swing press? The best way to place your shirt on the swing press, swing it out and place your shirt. I mean, I don't know. I always do it upside down all the way. Want to shop with you, but I would love the answer to the question. Can you order custom screen print transfers? You can shop with us. You can shop with us and buy ready to press screen print transfers. If you want to order custom, it's going to be a minimum of 75 of the same transfer. Okay, that may discourage you because you may not want 75 of the same transfers, but we definitely will do a custom order for you for screen print transfers, and you would have to email us. So Rosemary, if you'd like to, go to the top, you'll see our email next to our YouTube channel. You can see our email, and then from there you can make your request. Okay, let's see. You love to learn from others. I'm trying to figure out what type of Angel. I'm trying to figure out what type of transfers that you're using, because it's not necessary to lint roll on cotton. It just may be a thing right here, but it's not necessary, because whether you're using DTF or whether you're using screen print, that lint is not going to affect that transfer. It's not. Order before, great quality. Thank you. I appreciate it. So just so you know, sublimation is necessary because you don't want to have those loose specs. But DTF, I mean, it's kind of like, this is what I like to do. You know, I'm a little anal retentive as well. So sometimes I'll see it and it bothers me, but it's not going to hurt it. So now I need to check the pressure. That's pretty good pressure. I want a little bit more. So now that I got a little bit more pressure and I'm good, I'm going to knock this out for 3 to 5 seconds to get the moisture out. You'll be able to see it better in the darker fabrics. Not sure if you guys can see that, but you'll be able to see it better in the darker fabrics. Once you heat up a red, or like maybe even a pink or a purple, you'll see that spot is going to be darker. That's that moisture that's being removed. Another thing you want to make sure of, and I'm trying to do my best to do this, you want to make sure that if you're going to press something like this hoodie, that this pocket seam is not on the heat press. So every time it's not going to work. But if it happens to be on there, if that seam happens to be on there, then I recommend you use some type of pad to make it even pressure, to boost the pressure up, to directly put that transfer where you want to put it. Put that energy on that transfer. For example, if I'm on my heat press, make sure you guys can see, and this pocket seam is on the heat press, then what I want you to think about is, in order to get this press here, this print here, I may have to put a garment, a pad underneath the garment right up in here to lift it up over the seam. I don't want to make it sound too complicated. It's definitely not an overthinking process. But it's kind of like driving down a bumpy road. You want to avoid the bumps, right? You want to avoid the potholes. This is a pothole. So if you were to press over this or press while this is on there, you may get an uneven press. Depending on what you're using, it may not come out well, okay? So I pre-press this for 3 to 5 seconds. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting my transfers on here, because, you know, I like transfers. I like making stuff. Y'all know it's Black History Month. I don't want to do all black stuff, but you know it's all Black History Month. And I'm going to make pretty much a junk. I'm going to make a junk hoodie. This is going to be for me. I'm going to wear it, okay? Let's see. How you protect the image you put on the back while you press something on the front. So this is screen print transfer. You're not going to have a problem with that. But if you do happen to have a concern about it, you can easily put a piece of butcher paper underneath, okay? You can put a piece of butcher paper underneath on the heat press, on the bottom of the heat press, if you have a concern with that. But it's not going to be a problem because it doesn't get as hot down here, okay? Doesn't get as hot down here. You said you shopped with a black business yesterday? That's what's up. We appreciate you. All right. So check this out. Because we don't support businesses on here. We shop with them. The support is going to be liking and sharing, right? Cool. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to position my transfer. Now, for those of you who is your first time, your very first time pressing anything, you want to make sure your garment is straight. You may not have that eye to get it together, so you may want to have some type of measuring tool, okay? But what I do is I put this on here. I get right in front of the right in front of the garment. I put this on here, and I do my best to make sure it's straight. All right. I can see the lines. I can see the right degree angles of the heat press. Really simple. And just so you know, there's another way that you can try to do this as well. The hoodie may not work as well, but you can definitely fold your garment in half, put a crease, take your transfer, and put a crease. So 4 fingers, excuse me, from the lower rim, of the lower rim of the garment. Okay. If I am lagging, I can't help it. I apologize. That's a part of one of the other things that we're doing over here. So we got some of the best internet, but we still have some of the worst outcomes. So I apologize for that. So now I got this on here, and remember, 325 degrees. I'm gonna let this thing go for 12 seconds, and then I'm gonna do an immediate hot peel. I'm not gonna peek at it. I'm not gonna see if it's ready. I'm not doing any of that. Okay, I'm not doing any of that. It's gonna be an immediate hot peel. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let's throw some swag on this. Y'all ready? I'm gonna tilt this, and it's not gonna be straight. I'm just gonna tilt it. It's gonna be immediate hot peel. And the great thing about it is I don't have to press it again. If you're just jumping on, make sure you drop your city and your state. Immediate hot peel. Don't look at it. Don't peek at it. That's it. All right. So y'all want to see how that came out? Does anybody want to see how that came out? Yeah, no, maybe. Junk hoodie, I'm here for it. I'm always nervous. The fonts always don't match. We don't care about that. We don't care about being perfect, y'all. The statement that I'm making today is that it is easy. It's easy to press. Okay. It's simple to press. So I tilted this purposely. What format does the art have to be in? You're looking to order custom screen print transfers. I'm not going to try to discourage you, but I do have a question for you. If you're wanting to order custom screen print transfers, do you have an apparel company? Do you have an apparel line? I'm going to pre-press this again, and I'm going to put this right across here. I got something I can put it right across that thing. Because I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. And you may not receive this. You may not be in the receiving mood this morning. But if you don't have an apparel company or an apparel line and you're selling garments, why are you trying to get your own transfers? Unless you're doing a family reunion, you're doing a high school reunion, you're doing a girls trip, guys trip. Even then, I mean, if you're not doing a lot of the same images, why are you looking to do? I'm just asking. Don't get mad at me. I'm just asking. What you mean? Which do I recommend for the apparel? Which transfers? You got to be a little bit more specific because we got to have that. We got to have a clear lines of communication. What do you mean? Which transfer process do I recommend? I'm going to definitely have to use more pressure because I'm going across. I'm going across this. Hey, Debbie, how you doing? Thanks for jumping on. So I'm going to use a little bit more pressure because I want to get this across the I want to get this across the pocket, and I'm going over seam, so I'm giving it more pressure. Now I could stop and go get a pressing pad, but I'm pretty confident I can do it without one. More pressure though. Let me see. Can we create our own picks for sublimation game sheets? Family, absolutely. So what you want to do is and I don't know if you've been there before, Debbie, but you want to go to our website. Give me a second. You want to go to our website, and once you get to our website, you want to hit the menu. If you're on the computer, you're going to be looking for sublimation. I want to say sublimation transfers, sublimation prints, I think, and transfers, or you can Google gang sheets. You can Google gang sheets. And what happens is you actually upload the gang sheet. Now, if you have an issue or a question, you can email me. I can hit you with the direct link, or you can give us a call. We can talk you through it. Okay. So, who do you recommend we order from? Or so that's still a generic question. I know we only have so many characters on here. But you gotta give me specific questions. Do you want to come up and ask that question? I don't have an issue with that. If you can come up, you can ask that question. Who wants to see this next transfer? Y'all want to see this? So now what I'm going to do is I got to get my X-Acto knife, and I'm going to cut this. Give me 1 second, honey. All right, how you doing? Griselda, right? I guess you didn't want to come up. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me just a second. All right. Do we sell heat presses? Yes, we do. You can go to the link in the description. Once you go to the link in the description, you want to hit starter kits. Once you see starter kits, you'll be able to see the heat press bundles that we have. I'm not here to teach about DTF or teach anything. I'm just basically sharing our products, and we don't sell DTF. You're welcome. So this is the next transfer that I did. It is completely over the pocket. Can y'all see that? So I'm going to have to take my X-Acto knife to cut around that pocket. Go this side. I'm going to have to take my X-Acto knife to cut that ink around the pocket. Okay? I'm not cutting the hoodie. I'm going to take the X-Acto knife to cleanly cut that seam. Okay? That's what I'm doing. So I'm not cutting the hoodie. I'm cutting the seam. All right? Not going to do that right now. I'm going to do that later because I'm still pressing. I still got some things going on. So now I got a couple more things that I want to put on here. Wow. I didn't think this one through, but this might be pretty good. Yeah, this might be pretty good right here. Let's do it like this. I'm just finding a spot. It's junk, man. I'm finding a spot to put these transfers. All right. What I need you guys to think about and remember, if you're just popping on, because there's a lot of people popping on, we're selling, guys. We're not teaching. I just want y'all to know that we're selling. That we're not teaching. There's a reason why there's a lot of small business owners are experiencing some issues on these platforms because people are coming on here to learn and they're not looking to buy. We need you guys to buy. That's what we need. All right. We need you guys to purchase. That's the whole process. we got customers. We got more customers that are on our Facebook and our YouTube. That's where our true customers are. Some of you guys that are on TikTok, you're meeting us for the first time and you're excited about what you're seeing. But we need to convert you guys to customers. So I need you guys to go to the website, theblankspot.com. And if you are making t-shirts or if you're looking for anything else that's in there, you go look at the website, check us out, and make your purchase, okay? Let me see. If I want to print screen print, then rhinestone around it, which would you do first? That's a great question. I would definitely do the screen print first. The rhinestones, it's cool that you repress it again. So I would do the screen print first, and just cover it with the rhinestone. Now, I would actually have to see the design, Debbie, because it would have to make sense to me to see the design. If you're just doing rhinestone right around it, that's fine. But if you're doing rhinestone right around it, I would say do the rhinestone first and then put the screen print inside it. And I'm thinking, if you're saying what I'm thinking you're saying, I'm thinking you think you're talking about like a fill-in or an overlay. If that's what you're talking about, then I would definitely do the rhinestone first and then the screen print second. Because once you can't do that. You got to do the screen print first. because the screen print is going to be flat. If you try to do the screen print second, then the rhinestones are going to be raised and the screen print's not going to hit the garment. So screen print transfer first and then rhinestones, but you may have to protect this with some type of paper so it doesn't stick to your heat press. Okay. I hope that wasn't confusing. Screen print transfer first and then rhinestones because the rhinestones are raised. Okay. And it's going to prevent you from getting a good press. Yep. As soon as I said I'm selling, we start walking away. So you're welcome. So now that's what we're doing, y'all. We selling. We're not here to entertain. We got to pay some bills, man. We have to pay some bills. I want to put this over here. We got to pay bills, man. This stuff don't just happen by itself. So if you're just jumping on, we are Sublimation Blanks and T-shirt transfer, adhesive, vinyl, and banner company. We're located just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. Happy Friday to everybody. Happy Friday to everyone. We appreciate you guys for jumping on. We know you could have been anywhere else, but you decided to come and see what we had going on. For some of you, we are teaching. We're not. For some of you, you're getting a first-hand lesson on how to properly press our screen print transfers. And for some of you, you're seeing that this is basically a tutorial that you can go back and look at on our YouTube channel and say, hey, you know what? I made a couple of mistakes. I can do this differently, and it's going to make sense, okay? So this is a screen print transfer. As we get new people on, do me a favor, drop your city and state. If you're brand new and you haven't identified yourself, type number 1 in the comments. Please and thank you. This is a hot, immediate peel. A hot, immediate peel. Now, I think that was Dina. Dina, as you see this is over the seam. That's not going to be an issue for me. Okay? That's not going to be an issue for me. Now, it can possibly crack a little bit because it's on the seam, but that's the similar seam that's on the pocket. I don't have to worry about this. But if I want to put my hands in my pocket, I have to cut the other part. Remember? Okay? So this is what we got. Yeah, just if you be patient. If you be patient, I'm gonna let you see. Spice, you from New Orleans? We're from Baton Rouge. All right. Thanks for jumping on. Appreciate you. Y'all be impatient, man. Let me see. I tell you what, you know how we can get everybody to see at one time? Get on Facebook and YouTube. That'll ensure everybody will see at one time. Get on Facebook or YouTube, and we'll make sure you can see everything at once. All right. It's the way I have my cameras positioned. It's nothing against you. I'm not trying to keep anything from you, you know. I don't know what I'm doing. I just know that I'm doing something. I know that I don't want to be like everyone else. I said it was going to be a junk hoodie, and that's what I'm doing. I got about another 20 minutes on here, y'all. Maybe another 20 minutes on here to answer any questions about our products. We do not sell DTF, so I won't be answering any questions about DTF directly. But in comparison from screen print to DTF, they are different. If you've never pressed a screen print transfer before, then it's worth trying, okay? It's definitely worth trying. Grand Rising, Rodney, thanks for jumping on. Let's see. Love the help. All right, Sean, out of Wisconsin. So I just pre-pressed that. That's all I did. I pre-pressed it. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give this some swag. So I can't see where the transfer ends and begins. So I'm just going to trim around the transfer so I can be transparent. This is not necessary. I'm not worried about leaving lines, but I just want to trim around this transfer so I can kind of position it, okay? If you're selling t-shirts and you don't have an apparel line, it's going to be easier to sell for occasions and observances than it would be to sell your own line. Why not sell designs? Why not sell designs that are already popular? That's only if you want to make money. Some people want to make money, but they want to make money their own way. They have their own idea of how they want to make money. Just simply saying that if you are selling t-shirts, it will be easier to sell transfers that are already made. That may sound like a selling point, and it actually is, but it also makes sense. If I'm going to be selling t-shirts, it's Black History Month. Are you out there looking to design your own Black History transfers? Or are you going to find Black History transfers that are already designed? For Easter, are you going to look to design your own? Or are you going to be quick and try to find something that's already designed? It's your choice. One is going to make life a lot easier, and one's going to be really time consuming. Especially if you have a full-time job and you find yourself having a lot of different things to do. I'll show you guys here in a minute, okay? Give me a second. This is the top of the hoodie. This is how it's worn. This is the arm right here. And I'll put this on when I'm done because it's going to be a lot of white. I mean, a lot of red on here because it's a brand new hoodie. So I'm just throwing this on here, y'all. That's all I'm doing. Hey, Rhonda, how you doing? So if y'all just jumping on, if you haven't done so, drop that city and state. If you're brand new to the platform, type on number 1 in the comments. There was someone that asked, how do we protect the backside? This is not going to get hot enough to transfer. Yep, you're always going to be first in my book, Steve. This is not hot enough to re-engage the transfer, so we don't have to worry about that. But I got one more transfer to do. Actually want to do another one on the hood. Let's see, I'm gonna grab one more transfer over here. Let me see. Oh yeah, this will go great on the hood. All right, so I'm gonna pre-press this again. to get this moisture out. And this is going to be the full color screen print transfer. St. Louis. So, per y'all's request, I did add y'all some transfers. I think it was Rhonda, Steve, and I think Tammy asked for some transfers in the order. So I got y'all covered. So this is the last transfer that I'm going to be doing. Well, I got one more to do on this after this. But this transfer is a full color screen print transfer. I know it looks like DTF, but when I turn it over, you don't see those ridges like an orange. The orange peel, that's how you can tell that it's not DTF. You don't see that orange peel ridge on there, okay? But this is a clear film full color screen print transfer. Nicholas out of Tucson, thanks for jumping on. My goal is to give you something to think about, and at the same time, be a little bit creative. Just a little bit. That full color screen print transfer is going to be pressed at the same temperature, in the same time, the same pressure. Same hot peel. Same immediate peel. I don't need to go back and press this again. But if for some reason this seems to be up in some areas, there's nothing wrong with taking some butcher paper and or parchment paper or a Teflon sheet and pressing it down. But this is what it looks like. All right. And the last thing I'm going to do to this, this is turned into a full project. So thank y'all for jumping on, man. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified, follow, go to the website, check us out. We are selling today. If you have money, we want to give you some good products. If you don't have money, then we understand. Till next time. Where can I cut this to make this make sense? So there's a couple of things you can do when you got words. A couple of things you can do when you have words. This says can't have our culture without our struggle. So what I'm going to do is I know that there's a lot of crafters out there that's watching. I know that there's a lot of crafters out here that are creative. And y'all probably love what's going on right now. Me, on the other hand, I'm not a crafter. I am creative, but I'm not a crafter. And I'm not going to spend this much time trying to create something to sell to somebody. Ain't nobody about to do that. Yeah, I could, Steve, but then I have to create another one. I got to keep doing it. And this is what I want to share with y'all. I know that we're live, and I know that I'm taking my time, sharing this information as we're live. But do you see how long this is taking? This is taking a very long time. This is taking a very long time to do one custom hoodie for a price that you're not going to either ask for the true price, you're going to be afraid to ask for what you did, or you're not going to be able to find a customer that's going to want to pay. Let's be honest. Custom work, personalization, it's time consuming. This is time consuming. I know I've been on here over an hour. And I know I haven't been doing this for the whole time, but I've probably been doing this for about 30 minutes. Maybe. So I'm feeling fast, guys. Feeling fast. Multiple transfers on here. Can y'all see that? All I did was cut the transfer up. That's all I did. I'm gonna put this on the other side to finish this up. Still got a pre-press, y'all. What y'all thinking so far? If I spend this much time on anything, I'm wearing it myself. I don't know about y'all, but I can't see it, man. I can't. Maybe it's just me and my thought process. I'm not selling this hoodie for less than $85. For less. I just thought I'd put that out there. I wouldn't sell this hoodie for less than $85. The likes have stopped on TikTok. What's the conversation looking like over here? Yes. Okay. I wouldn't.
Was that for me?
No, that wasn't for you, Alexa. I wouldn't be able to do it, man. Alexa, be quiet. All right. We're coming to the end. That's a great price range. I think it is too. But now you got to find somebody who's going to pay $100 for a hoodie, $85 to $100 for a hoodie. First, you got to be bold enough to say that's what you're charging and mean it and stick to it. That's the first thing. You know, that's really the first thing. The first thing is that you have to be bold enough to say this is my price and I'm sticking to it. That seems to be the issue with a lot of small businesses. They get haggled or negotiated down after they've done the work. All right, I'm gonna try to show y'all this as best I can. TikTok, you're gonna be second, okay? So I'm gonna show this to Facebook and YouTube as best that I can. Y'all give me a second. Slide all this over here. And y'all might be able to see it as well. I'm not sure. And I guess I could throw some stuff on the front of the sleeves as well. I could throw some stuff on the front of the sleeves as well. So I guess you guys can both see it at the same time, right? Now, I'm sure somebody could come up with a better design or better positioning. I'm sure someone can come up with better positioning or, placement. That's what the other side says. Can't have our struggle Can't have our culture without our struggle. But this is what I came up with. All right. That's it. Hey, Latrice, how you doing? Thanks for jumping on. Tamara said that's where the right customer base comes in. We're not Walmart competing for the cheapest prices. And just because you're black owned doesn't mean discount. Wow. I don't think I could have said that better. Now we just need to find people who want it, right? So I'm not trying to sell this. I mean, it ain't that serious. I just wanted to show you guys, number one, just how easy it is to press our screen print transfers. It's very simple, very easy. It's not hard. The other thing I want to share with y'all was that if you don't follow the instructions of pressing screen print transfers, you will have nasty results. Every screen print transfer, every transfer that you receive from a business should have some type of pressing instructions. Hey, Sandra, how you doing? Thanks for jumping on. I want you to think about this. The next time you consider doing something different or something new, and it doesn't go out, quite like you want it to go the first time, then just try it again. But definitely, if you're having issues with something that you purchased from us, please don't hesitate to contact us directly. Messaging us on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok is not going to be the best way to contact us if you have an issue. The best way is either to call us during our business hours or to email us. The next thing is making a comment or a post on one of our videos, whether it's a live, whether it's a replay, or whether it's a regular post, is also not the best way to get our attention. Okay? If you have an issue, be adult about it. Be grown up about it. Contact that company directly. The same way you contacted them when you said you wanted to buy something through their website, they should have some email information or telephone information that you can actually use to contact them. That's it. All right. So say D's gonna want one. Probably. She probably gonna want one. She's watching. So just wanted to reiterate, we are a business. All right. Our job is to share with you how easy it is to use our products, how you can use our products. If you're making garments, if you're a t-shirt maker, and you don't have any specific ideas of your own, maybe you're brand new, you may be a crafter, you may want to participate in some of the observances or some of the holidays. We have single color screen print transfers that are available for you right now. You can pay full price. That's not a problem. Full price is not too bad. However, if you want to get wholesale rates, you don't need any business licenses. You don't need any retail license. We don't need you to have an LLC. We don't need any of that. We're letting you shop. The public can shop with us. The only thing is you have to make a minimum purchase of 50 and you have to shop from the correct collection. That collection is going to be 90-cent transfers on our website. If you're on TikTok, you can go to the link in the description. Once you're there, you're going to see a list of different links. You're going to look for wholesale transfers. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, you can find the direct link in the caption, or you can go to our website, which is theblankspot.com. Scroll down. Once you scroll down, then you're going to scroll till you see the 90-cent transfer collection. Place a minimum of 50 in your shopping cart, and you're good to go. All right. Let me see. I ordered 3 hours ago, still didn't get it. Well, Steve, you know what? We just gonna have to wait. That's it. Processing time, man. I guess I was asleep when you ordered, so I apologize. I didn't wake up out of my sleep. I didn't pack your order in my dreams. That's what it is, right? So, guys, listen. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. For all of you guys that are new and it's your first time, we hope that you guys get off of TikTok at least long enough to go and follow us on our Facebook, our YouTube, and our Instagram, because we're going to be doing a lot of different things, and you can see a lot of different lives and replays, especially on our YouTube. Okay. If you're brand new, we have lots of tutorials and lots of demos that are on our YouTube channel as well. Our YouTube is The Blanks Spot. That's TheBlanksSpot. For those of you who are going to shop with us, we look forward to packing your orders. For those of you who are still just looking, hey, check out some videos, man. But just know that nobody can teach you online how to actually press a shirt, because the three things that you need to be aware of is the TTP, the temperature, the time, and the pressure. And we can tell you what the temperature is. We can let you know what the time is, but we can't help you with the pressure. That's something that you're going to have to feel. So like I always say, when you know better, that's when you have the ability to do better. And the only knowledge that's powerful is properly applied knowledge. We'll see each and every one of you guys at the top, because there's entirely too many people struggling unnecessarily at the bottom. Peace.